Hello everybody, this here is an $8 cut of steak and my job is to work some magic and see if we can pass it off as a Wagyu. So let the magic begin. I found this beef brisket for $8. It is shaped like a steak and most importantly, it has incredible marbling. Just take a look at that. I knew immediately that I had to get it and maybe pass it off as a Wagyu. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. First, we shall season our brisket, and here's how. The brisket is the king of barbecue and benefits from generous amounts of seasoning. So let's go ahead to season with salt, paprika, and pepper. Next, we shall vacuum pack our briskets to prepare it for the sous vide. The brisket is a tough piece of meat and benefits from a long, slow cook. So let's go ahead to sous vide this for a good 24 hours. No milk tenderizer, no pineapple tenderizer, just good old-fashioned 24 hours sous vide. That should do the trick. After 24 hours, we'll remove these babies from the sous vide. For the taste test, I'll be working on these two strips. And reserve this stick-like cut for the independent taste test by my greatest critic. Before searing, remember to pat dry the steaks. Lightly season with salt, pepper, and a sprinkle of thyme. This will compensate for some of the flavor lost through sous vide. It is time to sear our steak. Melt some butter onto the oil, sprinkle some salt, and let's begin to sear. If you have done it correctly, this is how your steak should look. Just take a look at that crust. Here's a moment of truth. Will this turn out as tender and melt in your mouth as a Wagyu? Let's give it a try. Indeed, but don't take my word for it. Let's call upon my harshest critic, Mr. Yearn. One more piece. To be doubly sure that I can pass this off as a Wagyu, I went ahead to sous vide for another 24 hours. Also, I'm slicing this thinner than usual. Hopefully this will do the trick and fool my biggest critic. Alright, here he is, my number one critic. Come, give this a shot. Tell me if this resembles some form of Wagyu. Not the best grade, but you know, whether this will pass off as a Wagyu.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's start from this end. See how it goes.
Okay.
One for you.
One for me. Oh!
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so let's have a look. What does it look like?
Rubbery. It looks really soft.
Okay. Let's see. Taste test. Interesting. It's soft to the taste, to the palate. Very soft. The taste. Quite nice with the peppery feeling, and I wonder what cut is worth actually. Because when I normally have my usual sirloin and ribeyes, right, it has a certain flavor, a certain bite. This one is almost like completely different from the normal bite that I would have.
Okay, very observant. Yeah, so this is what I think. You're spot on, okay, with the peppery, you know. So this is slightly heavy seasoned, okay, not what you normally do with a Wagyu. Right, for a good piece of Wagyu, you just want to enjoy the quality steak. For over here, we have a brisket, and the brisket unfortunately has a very strong flavor. So there's a lot of seasoning, okay, to mask off the flavor a bit. But I think what we have managed to achieve here is the texture and the tenderness.
Yes. Okay, texture, tenderness, fast. In fact, I like beefy flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit, my only hesitancy is that I would like more of the flavor and less of the seasoning, if you can get what I mean. But that's my personal
Yeah.
preference because I like strong
Yeah.
beefiness in the cut.
You're right. But I was a little insecure because you're my harshest critic.
So you second guess yourself.
All right, cheers, everybody. There you have it, an honest take from Honest Joe. So here's the conclusion. If you ever find a piece of a brisket with that sort of marbling, go ahead, get it, sous it for 48 hours to create that Wagyu-like texture and complexion. That will work 100% of the time. There's the other issue about the flavor. The brisket itself has a very strong flavor, and for me personally, I like to do a bit of heavy seasoning to balance it off. But for the purists, that will be sacrilegious, and they will prefer a really pure beef flavor. So that's the conclusion. We hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. We'll see you around.